Hey buddy, it's Dad. This is video number 2 after the initial kickoff of our Genesis story, and I thought it was best to kind of go back to what is the number one and most important thing that I would want to instill in you as far as financial pieces. And I think it took me back to when I first got exposed to something that kind of financially negatively changed the trajectory for me. I could go through lots of things like what I learned from Dave Ramsey, which again, kudos to Dave Ramsey. Hopefully he watches this and all of his team. But it went back to something when I started college. So here's the story. Back in 1999, after I graduated from high school, I went to college, and I was at the college. I lived on campus, lived in the dorms, and I may have been there for, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and we just got our mailboxes. They were physical mailboxes that you'd go and check your mail in like a place where all of the boxes were at, and I opened up my mail, and I would get things from like the university or whatnot, but I got a piece of mail from, I don't remember exactly the card itself, but it was a Visa card, and it was an application to, actually it was one of those that I think it was like pre-approved. It was the university that I was going to's logo, and it was kind of decked out like perfect, like, hey, this is a credit card for you. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, the university's giving me a card, it's for me. Little did I know, which was nothing, right? So I applied for it. I think the limit I wrote down here was like $1,000 or $2,000. Signed up for it, and basically, let's just say it was $1,000. What I did was I immediately went out and bought items when it came back, because I applied for it and it came back a few weeks later, and got the card, and I went out and bought needs that I had for the dorm room, like probably things I didn't like super need, but just had the money. So when you have $1,000 back in 1999 as a young student, that's a lot of money. So I bought things for the dorm room, maybe something for my computer or whatever, and like that, within like a week or two, all that $1,000 was spent, and it was basically at 22% interest. I had no job at the time, so basically automatically accrued debt. I believe, and this is fuzzy because it goes back many years, I think I ended up paying that off like a year and a half later. And they kept giving me more credit, and I was making minimum payments, and I think my credit limit got up to 1,000 or 2,000 or 4,000 or whatever, but I didn't pay that off for like a year and a half. And after that, I had added more credit cards and more credit cards. While I was in college, I think up until my second year, I had like 4 credit cards all maxed out, making the minimum payments from like work study jobs or getting side jobs. And it just started right there, 1999, as a fresh college student, and just compounded. 18 years old, and just blew through the money. So my advice to you is, do not take on those credit card attempts that they have, the pre-approvals or whatnot, until you know if you have the money, then you don't need the credit card. And of course, there's lots of things beyond that of, oh, well, what if he had money, or he doesn't have money, how's he expected to buy it? It's just, the point is don't get lured into those pieces early on, because it set a foundation, a trajectory of me using credit cards for the next 22-ish years, until the point where I completely changed our life and could have been out of debt extremely earlier, retired, paid off house, and all those things much earlier than we are today. So buddy, my advice to you is, when you see that credit card and it's shiny in your name, don't get it. It's not that important, and it's something that you can work for. So work for the money, get the money, pay cash for things, and you will go a lot farther. That's the first item for today. So until next time, we'll talk to you soon. Take care, buddy. Bye-bye.